Cyrus says, time to meet a superstar, a real cricketer, the real what we call old-fashioned Mumbai cricketer. In fact, sad because Mumbai cricket at the moment, which I'll talk to him about, is not going through a good. Well, the momentum is not good. Let's put it that way. But before I do that, I want to just mention myself as a cricketer because Amol Muzumdar is joining us, has got all these records, domestic records, which are I don't think anybody else has in terms of what he has achieved, and that he should have played for India will be obviously a topic we are talking about. However, I myself am a decent batsman, Amol. I must just tell you. And instead of ranting, I'm going to just mention that once I made 161 not out for Skylark Building versus Manarok Building. It was a huge innings because I had a corn in my toe. Kya kehte hain wo corn that thing that hurts your foot when you're running. And but I'll never forget. Of course, they had not to be sexist. They had four girls playing for them because guys didn't turn up for the match. So I and they were not very good fielders because at least two or three times the ball just went between their arms and legs and everything, and they had no idea. So I was fortuitous in that way. But having said that, it was one of my great moments. I came back, and in my lane, people were looking at me. Yeah, well played, well played. So yeah, ah, memories. Now on Cyrus says, let's welcome Amol Muzumdar with a lot of fanfare. And when I say fanfare, because we have no budget, Amol, nothing will happen. Okay, there'll be no sound, there'll be no music. There's no cheer girls or cheer boys like Pakistan had initially for some reason, which is not explained to me. But let's now talk about Amol Mazumdar, one of the greats of Indian cricket, who paradoxically did not play for the country. But I suppose these questions even he must be bored of answering. Everywhere he goes, this question will be asked of him by a cricket lover, cricket fanatic. But let's start at the beginning. I'll only say one thing. You broke the record for the highest number of runs in domestic cricket in Ranji Trophy. Am I right?
Yes, I did. I did go past Amarjit KP. That was standing for a long time. That was
That,
standing for almost, what, 2 decades.
yeah. Amarjit KP, I remember him from Sports Star posters. Again, did not really play for India, but this is a strange situation. Then I think Wasim Jafar finally got the most runs, but he played for
Yes.
100 years. Well, you
Yeah.
retired. You retired after about 20 odd. Yeah.
Yeah, he is WG Grace of
He's
Indian
WG
cricket.
Grace. He might come back.
Yeah.
He might
Oh,
make a comeback. Looking at this
he might
Chepak,
give.
Chepak
Yeah.
wicket, he must have said, "Chalo, मैं भी खेलूंगा." So now let's go back to the beginning. What people don't
Yeah.
know about you, see, all these statistics are there. People, I'm going to talk a little bit about that if we have the time. We have to talk about the whole Sachin era, which had so many great batsmen, and two that I think should have featured in the team immediately from Mumbai are you and Zubin, and I'll definitely come to that because, but 11 can play and all. There'll be two arguments to that all the time. Let's start at the beginning. How did Amol Muzumdar become a sportsman? Go back to your childhood and tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I come from a very sporting background, Cyrus. My father, my uncle, they all represented their own. I mean, they represented their bank teams. But at that time, in the 60s and 70s, banks were they used to have some very strong teams. So my father, being a cricketer, obviously he pushed me towards it, and yeah, I was just inclined towards the sport automatically. I mean, there was
But
no second thought.
when I had a son and all, the first thing I used to think about is, is there spark there? Because you'll see it in playing in the building, in the colony, in the lane, whatever. Before even proper season ball cricket, I'm just talking about when you were 7, 8. Was Amul Mazumdar one of those guys that people say, yes, mein kuch hai?
I don't know about that, but my dad, some of my dad's friends, they keep telling me that your dad, when you were about 4, 5 years old, and I used to play with the patti, the foot patti, the the wooden one, and he used to throw me balls, and I used to bat with that in our house. And some of his friends still keep telling me, your dad used to tell us when you were 4, 5 years old, used to tell us, "Isko main test cricketer banaunga." Um, but I mean, I don't know. Probably it didn't come true, but he came close to it.
But would you say that Amul Mazumdar was obsessed with cricket because from the beginning you were playing so much cricket, or was it just something you played for fun?
No, I played for absolute fun. My father was very much inclined towards it. I mean, he had a vision, but he didn't tell me about that, Cyrus. To be honest, I mean, I never felt that he was putting any pressure on me because he didn't speak much to me. All he used to do was just guide me. And but I wanted to be an athlete first. That was that. Yeah, I wanted to be a 100-meter sprinter. So I actually wanted to take it up professionally. When I
Sprinting.
was very, yeah, very young. but because I don't know, somehow my father got me trained, correctly. In those days, in 70s, he had I mean, he hired a trainer for me, just
Wow.
teaching me the running technique and stuff. So
Who was
it
this?
was it
Was
was
it PT
different.
Usha? Who was the trainer?
No, no.
अब तो भी
I, ca-
70s only,
but
my generation, so I
no,
can. Huh?
if I remember it correctly, it was Mario, somebody called Mario. I can't.
Mario.
Yeah,
So he
Mario
was
in
coaching you for
Kalina.
technique at the
Yeah, yeah,
five
yeah, yeah,
six.
yeah, 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 yeah. At 6 years old.
Were you fast?
Um, yeah, I was pretty swift. Yeah, I
Hmm.
was pretty swift.
So in the
I
school
could, I
competitions and
could get
all,
it.
how
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you did? Yeah,
First prize, first prize.
first prize. Wow,
Always. But
excellent.
I wanted to be a sprinter. But then, and I didn't know that he was trying to, trying to get me get my foundation going as an athlete, so that he could get me into cricket. So fitness always stayed with me throughout my career, and that was probably one of the most important thing I feel, that I had a 20-year-old career in first class cricket. It was because of my just being an athlete.
And but does it help in cricket the fact that you are a fast runner? Because it's one of the games people say that you can sort of get away maybe to some extent. I mean, not to
Uh,
point fingers at Rishabh Pant, but he's carrying a few pounds and he's doing so well.
yeah, but no, it really helped me, Cyrus. I mean, it not just really helped me in batting, but it also helped me in fielding. um, i I used to feel very proud about it, that I was one of the best fielders in the team. Any team you talk about, I wanted to be. I wanted to achieve, to be the best fielder, and being swift on the ground is quite handy.
Which 80s generation Indian guys playing were not known for their fielding as compared to perhaps the last 5 to 10 years. So let's move it ahead. Don't have enough time, sadly, to look at every single moment that happened. But when was the moment that Amol Muzumdar and his family and supporters knew कि इसमें कुछ है, this is cricket is the way? Did you play in some tournament and score a big knock or something like that? Amol?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but for a minute
Yeah.
I thought something happened. I got scared.
No, no.
So, how bad was the question? I just asked you, which was that opening innings that you played somewhere where people turned around and said, "Wow."
No, I actually scored quite heavily in under 15s. First game for Bombay under 15, I got 100 against Saurashtra at Rajkot, and from there on, it kick started my career. I got 100 in the under 15 game, and it, it probably told me that I could survive at a good level of cricket. And then I had Sachin and Vinod playing in the same team in Shardasham school team. So I had role models right there. I mean, they used to get hundreds for fun.
But
So
is
eventually I wanted to get hundreds like that.
but is it true that in that famous 664 world record of theirs, you were coming in next, or you were in the order to bat after them?
Yes, I was. I mean, Vinod was slotted at number 3 when he ended up getting 349. Sachin was at number 4 where he got 328. Both were stayed not out.
Huh.
And number 5 was yours truly. So
So
yeah,
you waited and waited.
but that was not my only claim to fame. Huh?
Huh. No, no, please. I know. I just want to check because these are some of these stories. They sound too good to be true. So I was thinking, look at the pedigree from one school though. You're looking at three, four, five who would have walked into the middle order at that point of almost any team in the world. That's serious talent. It must have been such a
Yeah, there
mismatch playing
was
other schools.
no, there was serious talent around. I mean, yes, we were at number 3, 4, and 5. We were slotted there, but Achareka sir was just phenomenal, phenomenal. Only yesterday, I was passing by Shivaji Park, and I was telling my daughter that it was unbelievable talent around at that time in the 80s at Shivaji Park. I mean, it was nursery of cricket. You name any net session where it used to be competitive. It used to be full of talent. The skill level was at the optimum level. Even those who have not made it also, they were really good.
Is that the horrible thing to say? But is that why Mumbai is not doing so well now? Because Shivaji Park youngsters perhaps are not that many of them so keen on cricket perhaps as before, or we don't have the kind of generation that you came up with.
It could be. It could be. I mean, there could be. It could be one of the reasons. When you play cricket, I keep telling it's a Marathi thing to say, but the rug paije rug.
Hmm.
You know, the zidda,
The how do
that
you explain it? Yeah,
willpower,
yeah.
the willpower to do well and not to give an inch to anybody. I mean, if Kamli was at number three, if Tendulkar was at number four, so be it. I mean, I've got my own slot at number five. I will try to do my best. That was my thinking when I played cricket.
Yeah, that Khadus Mumbaikar attitude from Gavaskar to Agarkar, I think we've seen all that. And then as a Mumbai lover, I feel a little sad, especially when, not to put Pondicherry down, but to in the Mushtaq Ali to lose to Pondicherry, to
Yeah.
lose four on the trot. I know it's T20 and all that and more of a lottery. But having said that, I can't imagine your generation losing four games in a row to anybody ever in any form of cricket.
I
Yeah,
mean, I can count on my hand, how many games we have lost in the
right.
17 years that I played for Mumbai. I can count it really on my hand that this game we lost, and I can remember those games. So you can imagine. I mean, it was really it used to hurt when an odd game here and there you lost, but not that often, not
It's
that
like
often.
having an ugly child. I totally understand because you may have 10 good looking children, then you have this one ugly child. You'll never forget the ugly child. Okay, terrible analogy. Don't answer that, Amol. But now I need to get to that elephant in the room. No reflection of Sanjay Manjrekar's famous comment. The elephant in the
Yeah.
room, of course, which is always going to be on your head. And I remember arguing about this. Let me be really candid. I remember having drinks when I used to drink at the Bombay gym with all the guys. You know how we pundits are now after five drinks, you've seen us,
Mhm.
and all deciding whatever, and saying that how can Amol not play for India? And then the argument being that you have this, that, and the other. You have Tendulkar as Kambli faded away or whatever issues he had. Then you had the Dravid era coming right into it, and Dravid, Lakshman, Ganguly, and I mean, there's enough talent out, and Amol leads that list. But it's damn tough to ask you this question to answer because it's really unfair. But what more could you have done? Because I look at your record, look at your scores. When we had this super middle order, perhaps the greatest middle order India has ever seen. Fair enough, all that is great. But you're faultless. So how do you answer this question? Is it a fair question? How do you answer it? Because what more could you have done? How many more runs could you have scored? You scored more than anybody else.
I mean, I really don't know how to answer this question. Although I have answered this question numerous times,
Sorry, but we had
but
to ask.
no,
Huh.
no, I know. I mean, fair enough. I mean, I've gone over it, so that's fine. Uh, to be honest, in the first 5 years of domestic cricket, Cyrus, I played in the Ranji Trophy. I played at an average of around 80, 81.
Wow.
It was very very hard to accept that I was not even close to being picked in the team. And in India, what happens sometimes is that every fourth year or fifth year there is a generation change, and it happened in right in front of me that it although I was younger to Rahul Dravid, Ganguly, Lakshman was of same age, but I was younger to Tendulkar, Azhar, Jadeja, Kamli, uh, Dravid, and Ganguly. I was always um, I was always in that bracket of generation. Um, and suddenly there came a generational shift where Yuvraj Singh came in and Sehwag came in and
Gambhir.
Harbhajan came in and Gambhir was a little later, but Kaif came in. So in that transition, I missed out on that period. But although having said that, I was still scoring runs in domestic cricket. I lost a little bit of motivation at one stage, probably in 2001, I guess. Yeah, I'd lost motivation. I didn't care anything about cricket. But yeah, there was a time when I felt frustrated about it, but you couldn't do anything. I mean, I didn't. I was not. All I was taught in the beginning of my career by my father was you handle your own problems. You're your own boss. You handle your problems. Never shy away from it. Take responsibility and score runs. All he told me was, I was scoring hundreds, and sometimes in our house we used to have a discussion that what do I do? What do I do? Where do I go? He used to tell me, if you're scoring hundreds, get double hundreds. That's all you can do. And
But you did that. I mean, I don't want to charav you on this fact. I know it must have been
No.
horrible the period dealing with it because as a follower of the game, a little bit Zubin also I felt should have had a chance, but you 100%. I mean, you broken every record inside. You scored runs on all wickets. You've never had a bad season, and you was almost a leading run scorer every year. So what the hell are they waiting for? No matter how
Yeah,
good
I don't
everybody
know.
is, that was just
I
the.
don't know.
But is it the element of luck is much bigger than we think when it
I
comes to
think
all
so.
this?
I think see, I have no doubt in my mind. I can be very candid about cricket. I'm
Please.
always, I had no doubt in my mind that I could have survived international cricket. And I'm sure about it that I would have done well. But I feel that it was 60-70% of luck than the other way around. People say that 20 to 25% luck, 60-70% your talent and all.
It can't be in your
I feel
case.
the reverse.
In your
I
case, you
feel the
ticked,
reverse.
yeah. See, Amol, you ticked all the
If
boxes in
they
your
would have,
case.
but
So,
I just felt it that if they would have given me one chance, I was just waiting for one chance.
hmm.
If they would have given me one chance, I would have played for India.
Oops. It's like the selectors are listening. Are you back?
Yes,
Oh,
yes, yes.
oh, sorry. Okay.
Sorry, I
You
got a
you
call.
you were saying if they had just given you that one chance, you would have been able to grab
Yeah,
it.
if I would have if I would have got that one chance, and I was waiting for it, yeah, I wouldn't have left it. I think there was just I was in need of that one chance, and I got frustrated later on, but then I got over it as well, and now I'm fine, absolutely fine.
Yeah, we'll come to the second half of your career also, but I just want to mention so record holder. This is not a small thing. In the most cricket mad, we are the without being arrogant, we are the cricket world. Okay, India is the cricket world. We have the money, the sponsors, the numbers, the population, and I think the Diwani of the Indians is not matched. Without being racist, I think that's very clear. So in that world, to stand out year after year and be the best batsman in the country must have been an amazing thing. But when you move from you thought maybe a luck would change if you move states. Would that be one of the reasons?
No,
Just a fresh start.
when sorry, did I think about it? That's what you meant?
Yeah, what would be the reason that Amol would go from Mumbai to the next state? I think it was. Did you go to Assam next?
Assam,
Yeah,
yeah, Assam. No, that wasn't it. That wasn't. It wasn't just. But by then I knew that my chances to play for India had diminished.
become less. Yeah.
So yeah. So that wasn't the move. I mean, that was not the reason that I made that move. The reason was that I was fed up with Mumbai Cricket Association.
Oops. Which brings us to the today controversy, which I don't want to get into because we don't know who the coach is. But I'll save that for another day. Amol, what is it that you are always going to have some controversy or something? It
I
seems to
don't
be
know.
part of the
I don't know.
karma, you know.
No, I don't know. I mean, the funny part was this cricket improvement committee was actually it was because of me that the cricket improvement committee came
Was
into
set
picture.
up, and they've
Was
gone with
set up,
another
yeah.
name, and
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's called
Anyway,
irony. What to do? Anyway,
yeah,
we'll leave that aside for now because
yeah.
that's playing itself out. But now
It
let's.
was yeah. As I said, I was done with Mumbai cricket because my last 4-5 years I was in the forefront of Mumbai cricket. I mean, I was playing with all the youngsters. I wanted to get the next generation in, the Rohit Sharmas, Ajinkya Rahane, Dhaval Kulkarni. They all made debuts under my captaincy. Dhaval, Abhishek Nair was there. So there was again a generation shift in Mumbai cricket, and most of the seniors were not available. And after a point, sometimes it just gets to you, and that was it. That's one of the reason why I left Mumbai and went to Assam. I just wanted a change.
Did you ever beat Mumbai playing for Assam or Andhra?
I almost did. I almost did.
Oh, that would have been something.
We
Yeah.
Assam played Mumbai at BKC here, and we set up 295 for Mumbai to chase, and Mumbai were 250 for 9.
Ooh.
I was leading Assam, and they had a full side. Wasim, everyone, and Ajit Agarkar played a blinder,
And they
and
won.
they just got past 295. They were bowled out for 305 or something. They got 10 runs lead. Yeah, it was quite. Quite a thing.
Would have been poetic justice in the end. Okay, let's quickly talk about the people you played with, played around, and seen. Is this an easy question or a tough one? Who's the best Indian batsman you've seen? And I mean, you've seen. That means from the Gavaskar era, Vishwanath, everyone.
I think uh, the best Indian batsman that I have seen with my own eyes was Tendulkar,
Number one.
uh, number one. I mean, I had the privilege of watching him right from my school days, but I had a privilege of watching him get his first double hundred against Australia here at CCI, Brabant Stadium.
Which set up the series. Yeah, correct.
Un,
Yeah. For
Unreal
3-day match,
batting.
huh?
Unreal batting, Cyrus. Unreal batting. I mean, I've never seen a cricket ball being hit so hard, but yet so sweetly uh, than that. I will never see it. I mean, I will hold that till I die. That I can't see anything better.
So Tendulkar, far and away the
Unbelievable
best.
better.
Tendulkar the best.
I think the best. The
And
back foot punches and the domination at the crease and just the way he thought about things. Just the way he thought. I mean, he made batting. It just came naturally to him. It just flowed. When he was on song, it just flowed. It did not, he did not hit the ball hard. It was just flow.
but I think that
And
when he hit those straight punches, I think everyone realized that he's in a great mood today. I think
yeah,
that punch of his, that checked shot, that was
yeah.
fantastic, really. Yeah.
I felt I still feel that my idol was Sunil Gavaskar. Growing up in the 70s, he was iconic. Uh, Whatever he did was just I think he set the bar high for everyone. I mean, if you even today when we are in a world of social media, sometimes there is a lot of stats that are thrown to through social media. Every single batting record in India, you check it out. Gavaskar sir is there, always there. In the top three, top four, you'll always see his SM Gavaskar, something or the other.
That was his
So he
generation.
broke everything.
They played domestic cricket and international cricket side by side. They'd come off the flight and Ranji, Mumbai, Delhi, they would never miss, for example, the big rivalries. They'd all be there, that lineup. That's gone forever now in India. I don't think we're going to see the
No,
big international stars playing alongside the rest because they just have
true,
international uh,
true. I mean,
dates.
there were so many instances where Sachin turned up straight from the airport, came straight to Wankhede Stadium, played for Mumbai, and with pride
And performed.
and performed. Yeah.
All right. I think Sachin has come over. He loves what you said. He's rung the bell and he's rushing in right now. Okay, Amol, best bowler, Indian bowler. If you want, you can give me spinner and pacer separately. But and I know that you faced everyone from Zahir Khan to Srinath to all the way now.
I think the best that I faced was Javagal Srinath. Just the pace and the awkwardness that he created with that ball coming into you. Um, it was the by far the best and quick that I've
Initially, as
faced.
he was really quick, right?
It was sharp. It was sharp. I faced him at the Eden Gardens. We were playing Challenger Trophy, and India. I was playing for India A, and he was playing for India. And I went into bat. There were 100,000 people at Eden Gardens, and I went into bat on a hat trick ball. And he had consumed Vikram Rathod and Rahul Dravid in the
Wow.
first two deliveries. And I went and faced him the hat trick ball. I mean, that was some spell.
How much did you
But
make?
there was some skillful. I made 30 odd something, but no, we lost the game. But they were too strong. India was at that moment was too strong. But I was glad that I didn't give him a hat trick.
Srinath. What about the Mumbai boys? We had so many great fast bowlers in the 80s and 90s, from Salil Ankola to the two Ravis, uh, Ravi
Yeah,
Kulkarni.
yeah,
Sorry, two
yeah,
Raju Kulkarni, the two
yeah,
Kulkarnis rather. Yeah,
yeah.
it's 2, 3. There was
Abhi Kuruvilla,
Abhay
Paras
Kuruvilla.
Mamre.
Yeah, you had some good talent,
Yeah.
man. So,
I mean, in the Mumbai Nets, it was always challenging, Cyrus. To face all these guys, Salil, Abby Kuruvilla, Paras Mamre, Ajit Agarkar.
Would you
There
sledge
was
them?
one another.
Amol, would you
Uh,
sledge? Would you say words?
I I would exchange a few
I
words,
heard,
but
that's what I heard. I heard Amol likes to give a chat.
no, I didn't shy away from from
Yeah.
a
I wish we
contest.
could record the internal rivalries.
I'll tell you an instance. I'll tell you
Yeah.
a story. We were practicing at Wankhede, and Ramakant Desai sir was
Wow.
our coach. I mean, he was our manager basically. And early in the morning, I don't know what happened to Salil and Paras, but I batted for about half an hour, and there was a fast bowler's net, there was a spinner's net. So I was batting in the fast bowler's net, and those two were bowling to me. That's it. Nobody else. So I thought there was something specific planned up for the game to come. For half an hour, I batted in the net. I did not put bat to ball even once because they were all bouncers. They were all bouncers. Every single ball was a bouncer, and I was ducking and leaving, and and nobody to check the no balls also. So they came and they bounced the shit out of me. I mean, and in disgust, I just threw my bat and I told Ramakant Desai, sir, what is this? Is this practice or what? Unbelievable practice. And those two were laughing their heads off, at the top of the mark. So, I mean, it was that competitive. It was really competitive. They did not give a single ball which I could face. All 30 minutes, I must have faced about uh, 40, 40, 50 balls from them.
All
All
shot.
50 balls, bouncers, not short, bouncers going over my head.
Wow. A lot of goodness.
So it was competitive. It was competitive, very
But in a
competitive.
way, good. No? Isn't that what makes a team
Yeah,
better when you just go for it
it
at
was
each other
very
in the
good.
nets?
Yeah.
Wow.
But we had the beauty of Mumbai cricket at that time was there were some characters in the Mumbai dressing room, real characters. I mean, if you look to your left, there was Kambli, Manjrekar. You look to your right, there was. I mean, I mean, character means complete characters. There was Paras Mamre, the character, Sairaj Bautule, character, Jatin Paranspe, or Sulakshan Kulkarni, another, uh, world of his own. He used to be Sachin Tendulkar right in front, Ravi Shastri on the left corner. So there was some giants, but we all respected each other, that much. We all respect. There was complete respect for each other. Even today, when we meet, we're great friends. We really are good friends.
And when Sachin would come to bat in the nets, would they treat him with the same aggression, like to bring the big alpha male down? You know how the West Indians used to go for the captain. So would the net bowlers go berserk at him, or
I used to pull their leg. Na then, it was difficult to pull Salil's leg because he was huge. But
yeah, he's even
Paras
bigger
Mamre, I
now. Have you
could.
seen him on
Yeah,
Insta? He's like a
yeah,
professional bodybuilder now. Yeah.
yeah. So I used to pull Paras. Now bowl bouncers. Why aren't you bowling bouncers now? Hey, how can I? The ball bounces. No, now he was be all and end all in
Uh,
Indian cricket at that time.
yeah, that's not
Ball na
fair.
bounces.
So Sachin को half ball ही मिलता है.
डालो आगे आगे डालो.
Oh
हाँ?
man, excellent. This is like the
हमको 7:30 बजे 7:30 बजे वानखेड़े dew, nice juicy pitch,
uh,
just giving me bounces after bounces. No,
wow,
that's not fair.
amazing. Okay,
There
Amol,
was
as usual, I'm talking too much. There's so much more to talk about. Your second innings is looking to be even more successful than the first because now suddenly you've hit the coach headlines. I know you become the batting coach for Rajasthan Royals and IPL now is a dominant factor. But what is this thing you did with South Africa? We suddenly saw you on TV. As a batting coach for South Africa, and I mean that I love that. You know, when people from different cultures are helping other cultures, I think it's really it's just a great sense of diplomacy, better than the politicians can achieve. So what was that? How did that happen?
It was not just by I mean by chance. It was I've worked with the South African A team quite a lot. I mean, 2 or 3 camps I've had. So I've sometimes when the players come here, they try to hire the local coaches, and I did do 2 or 3 camps with them. And they really enjoyed. I really enjoyed working with them, and probably they were as well comfortable working with me. So that's how the word spread. And then when the main team came, probably a month later, they hired me as a batting consultant. I enjoyed working. I enjoyed being in the South African dressing room.
Well, they
And
almost.
I'll tell you what, in Vizag, in the first test match, Cyrus, when I wore that South African shirt, I called up my wife, not from the dressing room, but just before that, getting into the, bus. I said that nobody can complain now that I have not tasted test cricket.
Correct.
From today onwards, I will be a test cricket. Yes.
Yeah.
और I can't complain to her. Test cricket नहीं खिलाया, अरे खिलाया, भगवान ने दिया.
But is it awkward to wear another country's jersey? Oh, I mean, everybody does it. I've been
It didn't
watching
matter.
all the other coaches.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm a professional. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I love cricket, and I love talking about it. I love conversing about it. So in that, if I can help somebody achieve something, even today, Markram, Rasivan,
They
Van Dusen,
nearly took down Pakistan with the
Temba, uh, yeah, yeah. So even today, I just received a message from all of them. So they're in touch. So yeah, there's a relationship that we built, and it was over a period of time. So it didn't happen by chance.
All right. So let's quickly, before we go to the AMAs, let's quickly talk about where you are now. There's this Mumbai issue. I hope it gets resolved quickly. But there's also are you still doing the under 23s and all the others stuff that you're doing? Are you coaching
At NCA, actually, if you're doing Rajasthan Royals, if you're
the
doing the
conflict of
IPL, you
interest?
can't. Your
Huh.
conflict of interest comes in, and so you can't do the National Cricket Academy and in Bengaluru. But eventually, I would love to do. Love to coach the youngsters, because that's where I feel, where the Shubman Gills and the Prithvi Shaws come from. So, would love to do that.
And let's talk RR quickly. I know there's some time problems. There's lots to talk about. But now the change of captaincy, Sanju Samson, the right guy, and Stephen Smith. Uh, I always thought that Stephen Smith is that mercurial cricketer who can do anything on the field. But you all have dropped him as far as we can see.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Smith, I mean, he's a great cricketer. There's no doubt about it. He's probably number one amongst the Fab Four, what they call it. But unfortunately, he didn't have the best of season last year, and so we decided to part with him. But I mean, he's had you know terrific player, terrific guy. Thinks heavily, about his cricket, and I think I'm sure whichever teams picks him up, I'm sure he'll do well.
Is there anybody in the RR team that reminds Amol Muzumdar of Amol Muzumdar while batting? Is there anyone who you think has shades of you?
I think, no, not really. Sometimes I feel the consistency, and Ajinkya maybe sometimes. Ajinkya, I love
Really?
his batting. Not in RR setup, but when he bats for India
Yeah.
in Test
Wow.
match cricket, I feel that he's got that touch. Sometimes when he plays big innings, he's sort of a touch player. He's not a powerful kind of a guy, but he's got that touch,
And he
which
makes
probably.
hundreds that count. Like in the second test in Australia, when Virat went off and we had 36 all out, to come back and perform at that point, I think for me,
Agreed.
Ajinkya Rahane he's been superb. I just love he's old-fashioned Mumbai cricketer. No? You don't hear too much
Yes.
from him, but he's like a
Mm.
warrior on the field, does his thing,
Yeah.
and then he goes back to his family. It's another world. He's from another era.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, but it's I think this whole Australia season was just superb. I think they have done more for us in COVID than anybody else. Just forget winning or losing. We won, that's great. But just the heart. I mean,
Yeah.
Shardul
Yeah.
and Washington and all these guys, they just showed. So were you happy? You saw those guys and say,
Oh,
wow?
brilliant. I mean, you have to be happy when you see a performance like that. I love that kind of cricket. I mean, trust me, it had a stamp of Ravi Shastri kind of cricket on it. And I messaged him. I did when he was in Australia, and he replied back saying that it reminded him of the 1993-94 season when Bombay won here without all the stars, without Tendulkar, Manjrekar, Kambli. They'd all gone. All the youngsters came through, and Ravi Shastri was the only senior guy who led us. He was our captain, and it was just that's why I feel this Australian victory had a stamp of Ravi Shastri on it.
Yeah, I think nobody people don't remember just how good Ravi Shastri was. They all keep saying things like played within his limits. But my God, he was one of the first Indians to take it to the opposition, wasn't he? On the field, just his
Absolutely,
body language was,
absolutely,
you said, "Ah, thank God we have someone who's going to show fight." He was always
absolutely.
ready.
I think he did the most of the talent that he had, but more than that, he had that larger than life image. He still has that,
Yeah.
but even when he was playing, he had that massive kind of a personality in the dressing room, massive personality in the dressing room. So his aura was different, and he still carries it.
Yeah, and went from number 11 to number one batting. Well, that's something
Yeah.
fantastic. Amol,
True.
unfortunately, not too much time, but we do. Is there anything you want to tell us that's happening now, new? Again, there's this one controversial corner which I don't want to get into because I know you need to wait that out. But other than that, anything else? Of course, the IPL is just a month away.
Yeah, no, I'm happy in the space that I am at the moment. I love the work that I do. I enjoy coaching. I do a little bit of commentary, and I spend a lot of time at home with my daughter. And I just love the space that I am in. And yeah, yeah, that's it. I'm a very contented person at the moment.
A slightly controversial question. You think cancelling Ranji Trophy this year, good or bad? I mean, we
Bad.
performed well with the red ball without with only white ball cricket going in Australian conditions. So I don't know, but not
I
having Ranji
I
Trophy.
think yeah, it dampens the entire mood because there's no Ranji Trophy. I thought they could have played it. They could have just probably the reasons are different. Also, Cyrus, we need to understand that that it's a different year. It's a pandemic going on, but I felt that they could have managed to get the Ranji Trophy in. My idea or my suggestion could have been play the league games before the IPL and have the knockouts after the IPL, say quarterfinal, semi-final, final. I know by then it's June time and it's monsoon, but some part of the country it's still dry. Somewhere like Bangalore, you can have the knockouts there. So my idea was to have the league stage before the IPL and post IPL quarterfinal, semi-final, finals.
Well, my only worry is this whole attritional batting, not just in India but across the world, become a bit of a challenge. And I miss that, defensive. If you're going to say the game tomorrow, for example, or even win it, you'd like to see what Pujara does, or that very little of that is left, and that's so much fun to watch. Taking the balls on his body and that kind of thing, and perhaps
Superb. I mean, in Australia, I mean, it was just unbelievable. The way he batted, I think it allowed Rishabh Pant to. I mean, they complemented each other.
perfectly,
There's
yeah.
no doubt because Pujara needed somebody like Pant to come and take the game away from the Australians.
Yeah, but let's hope Ranji Trophy remains. This is just a year which anomaly which will go and everything will come back. But in the meantime, I think I introduced a very good-looking man who's never played cricket, has no interest in sport, who's also part of our podcast. Mr. Silvery with the AMAs, will you come? Amol doesn't have time to
Hello.
waste. He's coaching 4 teams,
Hi,
three of
I
them with
played
big
cricket, man.
reputations.
I played cricket. I've taken coaching classes from Jayanti Lal, Mr. Cricketer,
Jayantilal,
Jayanti Lal.
In,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course,
At
went to West
cricket.
Indies with Gavaskar.
Yeah, at
Ah,
Police
yeah.
Gymkhana. I used to go there as a kid.
what are you saying?
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
talk to him. He's also a Bombay Gym boy. I'm not boy,
Oh,
but
Yeah.
we'll chat.
I mean, he
Ah.
won't remember me. I was one of like
No,
a
I'll
hundred.
I'll make sure he remembers you. One Punjabi boy who didn't run the round. Those days, Amol, that first thing in Mumbai was you have to run the round, no? Even
Yeah,
our
yeah.
elf
Yeah, yeah,
academy, वो तो कभी नहीं बदलेगा. The poor kid comes, he's come from Nala Sopara, he puts the bag down, and the coach says, "चलो run."
yeah. Correct. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
मेरे को कान के नीचे भी पड़ा है मालूम है
For
आचार्य
not
कसम से.
running.
No, I had to explain. One guy had come, new admission आया था रे उनके पास.
Hmm.
So he said, Amol, come here. Explain to him how to go for a round. So I was saying, अच्छा तू एक काम कर, तू बंगाल क्लब के इधर जा, वहां से लेफ्ट ले, आगे जाएगा भारत क्रिकेट क्लब आएगा, तू वहां से सीधा जा, फिर माहिम जोहनल आएगा, वहां से लेफ्ट ले, तो फाड़ करके पीछे से पड़ा रे एक बोलता है tell
भाग के
him
दिखाओ.
नहीं सब नहीं I had a crack on my head and Acharya sir told me tell him keep all the pitches inside और एक प्रदक्षिणा घाल मी मराठी में बोला हूँ की सगळे पिचेस आतमध्ये ठेव आणि एक मंदिराला प्रदक्षिणा घाल म्हणजे and that time I realized that ground was my temple.
God, yeah. But you think that is also a reason why Mumbai is the emotional sort of connect that you've had from 50s onwards, maybe till your generation and beyond also. And then now in the last 5-10 years, perhaps not that, the pitch is not the mandir. And you know what I'm saying? Just the world
Yeah,
has changed and people are not that crazy about,
uh,
obsessive about things.
we may be wrong, Cyrus. Probably we keep thinking that, but I do interact with the youngsters. They do have the respect still for cricket. It's just the choices that they have at the moment. We didn't have those choices. The choices that they have are uh, far too many. I think, and probably that is one of the reasons why they feel that okay, fine. If this doesn't work for me, I do have another thing for as a choice. So yeah, they do look after. But
I,
I think that they still respect the game and they want to do well.
For me, it's a bit like the West Indies, who I loved growing up, the Viv Richards, Clive Lloyd era, and going all the way to Richie Richardson, and then slowly them fading a little bit. Of course, they've had a superb win yesterday, which is
Yeah,
just
yeah. I know.
mind-boggling. I didn't get
I
to
know.
watch a ball because I thought
I know.
match to gaya after day one only.
Yeah.
But no, but is Bombay like that? You think that suddenly it's like the kids are richer and more interested in internet and other the distractions, and the sporting ethos thoda kam ho gaya. I'd seen the
True.
thing not just for cricket
Could be true.
in
Could
Mumbai,
be true. With the line that I started this program when I said that rug paije.
right?
That there is a something in the maidans of Mumbai. There is something. If you have played there and survived, there's just a rustic feeling in that maidan. It needs to be revived again. I don't know how it will be revived, but Mumbai Cricket Association needs to pay attention to all these things. Small little details. There used to be some amazing players through tennis ball cricket. Where have they gone? Where have they disappeared? Tennis ball cricket was, you know, very much alive when we were growing up in the 60s,
Growing up,
70s and
we
80s.
still play tennis ball cricket in
Yeah,
my lane.
but
Huh.
yeah, but there were some amazing tournaments that used to
Yeah,
go around,
correct. Yeah,
and
night
and
tournaments I
those
remember. Huh.
yeah, and those players used to come and play club cricket. So the club cricket was strong. Once your club cricket is strong, your main team would be 100% strong, and that's how you create that culture in Mumbai. I think there's something missing there. I hope Mumbai Cricket Association plays or pays good attention to all
Well,
these
if they
things.
put the right coach in charge, that should help. That'll be a good starting point. Right, Amol bhai? Silvery, if you shave, you can also take part in under 14, huh? Nobody knows
Okay,
what you really look like. Yeah.
that's
But,
true.
but
Good,
that's
done.
more like up north. I'm sure Amol will have many stories when they
Yeah.
went to play under 19, under 15, and opposite him in Delhi, Papaji
Yeah.
has come with his two kids. Ah, beta, under 15 खेल के आएगा मैं.
I'll be the guy wearing an abdomen guard playing tennis ball
Yeah,
cricket.
yeah.
Like, what's the point?
Okay. What I hate is the guys who come to the Maidan in the Oval and the Azad Maidan and play tennis ball cricket on a pitch, yaar. It's so irritating.
Yeah.
They've woke up,
Yeah.
they've come there, and I asked them, your boss, nahi yaar, wo dangerous hai. Play in the lane, na. Don't eat up the pitch, yaar. Still happens.
Correct.
Uh,
True.
Yeah.
Should we
anyway,
get to the
chalo.
AMAs?
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Okay. This first one comes in from Vikram Kalra. It's slightly long, but a very interesting question. He says, hello, Cyrus and guest. Hope you're doing well. Cyrus, I'm a hardcore cricket diwani like you. I know that cricket nowadays has gotten really intense with fitness levels at an all time high, crazy scores, amazing catches, and what have you. But maybe this is an unpopular opinion. I truly miss the good old days of Ricky Ponting, Tendulkar, Dada, The Wall, Steve Waugh, Wasim Akram, and the lot. I have two questions. What would you give to see these players play again? And two, if you could go back and witness any other era of cricket, which would it be?
All my drinking fights, Silveria, about this when I was growing up, arguing about eras. I mean, Amol will tell you, yeah, because he's the professional, the expert, India's record holder, and all that. Even he will not be able to, I think, give us a correct answer. How do you compare Vijay Merchant with Gavaskar or Tendulkar with Gavaskar for that matter? It's a really so taking that era and putting it here. I mean, Wasim Akram, they all said is the best bowler they've ever seen and all, but you never know. He comes
Yeah,
against this mad guy from Delhi who's our wicketkeeper, or rather a batsman who
yeah.
may be wicketkeeper, and that guy just hits you over the top. I mean, line, length, all go for a toss. Amol, how do you answer this question here? How do you compare?
It's very difficult to compare eras. But as you said, there was some kind of nasha in that previous era where there was some kind of mystery also. Now yeah. About there's an unfortunate incident that happened about a couple of days back where we lost a fast bowler, Ezra Mosley,
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Accident.
as,
Very sad. Yeah.
by accident
Uh,
in West Indies. Now Ezra Mosley didn't play
Two tests.
Test match cricket. Yeah,
Two
international
tests.
cricket much.
Uh,
Yeah, but he was fearsome, and there was some mystery behind him. When he came to play here, the Masters over here, I went to watch him because there was some mystery. When I was growing up, I always used to hear stories that Ezra Mosley was unbelievably quick and this and that. So there was mystery when you have not seen those players. There's a little bit of mystery behind them. So you tend to see those players in a different light. So I can't you can't compare eras, but I would being a romantic cricket romantic, I would always love that 70s era where the West Indies cricket was high.
yeah, me too. I mean, I'll never forget Alan Lamb telling us a story in that Botham Lamb thing that they used to do about how he went out to bat in Barbados, and suddenly
Yeah.
he realized there's nobody on the field because there were five slips, backward short leg, forward short leg, one third man, and one deep square leg. And he says there's no one in front, just a umpire and bowler, and you feel really lonely. And he never felt that in his life. Can you imagine that kind of field setting, Amol? Did you ever face anything
Unbelievable.
like that
No,
when they
not.
toured
I
and
mean,
all?
West Indies.
Yeah.
No, West Indies. I mean, I faced the West Indies in 1994.
So
We
Ambrose,
played. Yeah, Ambrose, Courtney Walsh, and Winston
Patterson.
Benjamin.
Oh, he was
No, no,
quick.
no, Winston Benjamin.
Apparently, he was quite
And there
crazy
was
also. Yeah,
there was yeah there was Kenneth Benjamin
yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Both the Benjamins.
Oh man, and West Indies were bowled out for 160. We were playing at Trivandrum. I don't know why Bombay was playing West Indies and Trivandrum, but we were. Uh,
Kingfisher
um,
Miles, yeah. There must have been a reason.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And there was no pitch. Yeah. It was an athletic stadium at that time.
wow.
So there was a running track that was going around, running track, and they played the game, and the pitch was bad. I'll tell you, the first 10 minutes when I was watching from unfortunately the dressing rooms were from the side, and when you watch cricket from the side, the fast bowlers seem more quicker. Rather when you see it from the top or straight angle, you can see the ball, but from the sides you feel it's solid quick है यार ये इसको कैसे झेलूंगा मैं. And I saw Zubin and Sunil More's stump cartwheeling like that 10 times. Ta-da. And the next thing I saw, I was batting there. But yeah, I was quick. Yeah. They were really quick.
Did you make runs?
I got 44, and then the second day there were riots in Trivandrum. Right? Riots ho gaya, Hindu Muslim
Welcome to
riot or
India.
something. Yeah, Hindu Muslim riot. The match only got cancelled. Oh,
Wow.
the West Indies said we need to fly out of Trivandrum first thing. So they they took a flight and they went.
They
We were
scared
there in the
everyone in
hotel.
Trivandrum and then ran away. Oh, but that was still a very solid team. And
For riot ho gaya.
that is the series where Vinod Kambli got hammered by them,
Yeah,
no?
yeah,
If I
yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah,
correctly.
yeah.
Short and
That
fast, short and
was
fast.
yeah,
Did
that
they
was a
bounce
series.
in the practice match? Did they bounce to you?
Oh man, it was. I'll tell you, the pitch wasn't great. There were cracks on the pitch, and the ball was deviating at that pace. It was deviating. Before that game, I had never worn a helmet.
Really?
Yes, I'd never worn a helmet.
But you made
Uh,
your debut 92, 93 now. So for 2 years, no helmet.
93, no helmet. I didn't wear a helmet. I didn't play. I played all my
Srinath
initial.
bowling at his full
No,
pace, you didn't wear a
no,
helmet.
that was 95. That
Okay.
was 95. So
But
it
we
was
still had some
later.
fast bowlers in 93.
Yeah, Chetan Sharma, Prashant
Huh?
Vaidya, I faced them. But I didn't wear a helmet. I didn't know how to wear. I mean, I didn't know. I was not comfortable wearing a helmet, basically. But when I saw, Courtney Walsh, so we were practicing the day before the West Indies game, and Courtney Walsh came and bowled a couple of balls, and they just took off and
Hmm.
hit the top of the net. मैं मैं बाजू के नेट में बैटिंग करा, मैं बोला यार ये कैसे झेलूंगा यार without helmet. So I went to a sports shop in Trivandrum, and I bought a Sunny ka helmet, and I wore it right through for 24 hours. I was wearing the helmet even when I was sitting and watching the television. Just to get used to it, I was just
Hmm.
wearing the helmet in the room. वो खाना खाने के लिए just ऐसा ऊपर करता था, and then I ate food, just to get used to it, because they were bowling quick, boss. They were really quick.
Do you wear
And
the helmet when you're on your bike, or even there no helmet?
you
Don't
have
answer
to,
the question. Huh.
you have to, you have to. I don't need to be controversial here.
Yeah, yeah, really. Amol Muzumdar, be careful. No ball. Okay. So you face these guys at their best, huh? So you faced
Yeah, it
everybody,
was.
quite frankly.
Now I got, yeah. Jatin and me scored some runs that time. We was 5 for 2. Zubin and Sunil More out, and me and Jatin stayed not out. I think we were 70 or 80 for 2 at the end of the day, and then riots over.
Well,
Both of us were happy, right, with
yeah.
40 odd not out.
Hindu Muslim riots. I hope nobody attacked my poor Parsi. Huh? You have to explain who he is, where he's from, how he speaks such bad Marathi.
No ball, no
No
ball.
ball, no ball, another no ball. Chalo, are we way over time?
Yeah.
Antriksh, anything else?
Okay.
Yeah, we got one more.
Yeah,
Should I do one
Go
quick
ahead.
one?
quick, quick,
Uh,
quick.
Sorry,
okay. With the
I
pop.
was too
Okay, this one.
chatty.
No, no
No, no,
worries.
you were great. Don't worry. The thing is when someone like you comes on, then I want to listen actually. Otherwise, I do all the talking. Ask Silvery. In
Yeah.
which case, it's a different ball game. Huh.
All right. The next one comes in from Anil Rathod. He asks, "Hey, Cyrus and guest, with the popularity of the IPL, do you think we will ever see a T10 offshoot in the near future, or will it never happen because it might take away from T20
Well,
popularity?"
that what I've seen in Dubai, what they organized, and sorry, in Abu Dhabi, was quite good. Yeah, it was, in terms of just hitting sixes and all that. Chris Gale once hit 80 or 20 odd. And what do you think, Amol? T10 can also thrive?
I am a little different. I've got a different opinion on this. I mean, I don't like tinkering too much with the rules and regulations. We have 3 formats, and that's good enough: 2020, one day, and Test cricket. You'll never see any other sport. The reason why is that you'll never see any other sport being tinkered so much. If you call tennis, there are only 4 Grand Slams, not more than that in a year. They don't change the size of the court. They don't, the ऐसा नहीं है कि just shorten the length of the game, 3 sets and 5 sets. So why football में नहीं होता? No other sport changes its rules and regulations so much. Anyway, cricket is a complicated game to explain to others, to take up the game. Why complicate it more? Just let it be. Let it be. Chill.
But also for older cricketers who want to run less and all that, 2 overs versus 4 overs bowling, one
हाँ
maybe 15 20 balls of batting and fielding क्या तू side पे भी field कर सकता है 10 overs में, it's not.
तो I'll post you a question, Cyrus. The first line you said, na, you got how many? You scored 100. How much
161
did you?
against Manarok.
161. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I was going to trick you here because I wanted to check
It's
whether
true.
you said the correct
It's
score.
true. And
One
a small
over.
patch, Hyderabad Estate, where we used to play season ball cricket and all. It was fun. Yeah.
तो उधर खेलेगा 2 over and 4 over and 6 over or 10 over. I'm happy with it. Good, very good. But not at a level. Just keep 3 formats. That's it.
So, Silvery, you've not understood what he's saying. सब गिरे वाले cricketers हमारे जैसे we can play all this nonsense,
Yeah.
but for
No,
serious cricket he's
no,
drawing the line at T20. I'm just clarifying
no,
so Silvery doesn't ask me later offline. Yeah.
no ball.
No ball, no ball. But no ball sound is terrible, yeah, Amol. I keep thinking someone's come to the house here because the TV we blasted when the match is on. Some siren like VIP presence aa gaya. It's again an Indian spinner overstepping. Amol Muzumdar, how can
Oh
they overstep
God.
so much?
Yeah, I don't know.
Ashwin has got such
Shahbaz
fabulous
Nadeem
figures.
was
Huh.
Shahbaz Nadeem was just going over the line. उसको बोलना चाहिए किसने? पीछे से भी डाल पास.
लगता है डोमेस्टिक में लाइन नहीं है. You better go and check next year when we resume Ranji that the white creases can be seen. Anyway, listen, this has been great talking to you, Amol. Once again, a lot of love and respect because I think you've been one of the greats of your generation. And
Thank
the
you.
fact that you didn't play for India is really India's loss, nobody else's. And I'll ask one question though. If you look at the middle order, we have Dravid 3, let's say, Sachin 4, we put Ganguly at 5, and we put Lakshman at 6. Who do we drop to put Amol in? Who would you drop? Tan, tan, tan. No ball? Sound चालू कर रहा
नहीं 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 आंसर करेगा ना.
है?
Somebody needs to get injured. So somebody needs to get injured. Maybe I could have opened actually. I could have opened the innings at that time.
It would be Sehwag and Gambhir. Before Gambhir, Sehwag and Sidhu. Who's there?
Sehwag, Sidhu. There was Sidhu Jadeja. There was
Yeah.
Manjrekar at one time
Manjrekar
opening
was put
also.
everywhere, bichara. Yeah.
Everywhere, yeah.
Fair
So I
enough.
could have Lakshman actually. Lakshman started as an opener.
Correct. In the
13
West Indies,
test
he
matches he
opened.
played.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
13 test matches he opened the innings, and then he said that
Both ho
enough is
gaya.
enough. Yeah.
Give me some time. I'll be able to score 281 on
Yeah.
my own. Yeah.
So
Anyway,
Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, Tendulkar, Lakshman, they were great. Sir. Let them be at 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll enjoy my life.
it's a tough question, but Amol, honestly, I would have, like we do when we drink and chat about these things, the romance of the game, a question which will remain unanswered. If Amol had played, what would he have scored? Who would have gone out? And what would have been the statistics? But maybe some other generation. When Amol is
Yes.
reborn, this time be reborn as Zubin. Okay? And just change your clothes, man. Just change your clothes. Yeah. All right. Cheers, man. Nice talking to you. Last question as we say bye. Can India win this? At the time of recording, we have about 380 to get in one day with 9
No
wickets.
chance.
No chance. So
No
we have to,
chance.
but we can bat it out.
Yeah, we should. We should. But it's difficult. It is very difficult. I mean, if you see, of course, it was Ashwin bowling, but if you saw the ball turn and the nature of the pitch, it looks very difficult. It looks
But Leach has
tough.
got a nice fat patch, no, to play with against the right-hander now.
Yeah.
At
He's
least two or
got.
three.
Yeah, they they always come with a left arm spinner and an off spinner. They
Yeah.
always come.
Panesar and
English.
Swan. Yeah.
Yeah, Panesar,
Back
Swan,
to
uh,
Pocock and Phil Edmonds.
and
Yeah.
Edmonds, Pocock, and even after that they had
Derek Underwood
uh,
was leggy or whatever the hell he was.
no, left arm spinner. He was left arm spinner. There was
John Embury.
Pocock
John
and
Embury.
John
John
Embury.
Embury.
Yes,
Yeah.
John Embury.
Yeah.
So
Ashley
they
Giles.
always come.
Yeah.
Ashley Giles.
Yeah.
So they always come with the left arm spinner, and what they do is they bowl a little quicker in the air. In India, you need to be a little bit quicker in the air because otherwise these guys won't spare you. If you toss the ball up in the air too much, they'll not spare you.
Yeah, I'm just worried that Rishabh will try to score the runs and then we'll lose wickets because of that. Maybe they have to figure out whether they're actually going to make 380 or not in one day.
Nice.
But नहीं आपने ना बोला तो ठीक है. We'll check in with Amol again. Let's see what happens. All right. Great talking to you. Okay, guys, have a good evening. And now I have to find my ticket to go to Ahmedabad to meet chairman of selectors.
Okay, I'm cutting.
Bye, Silvery.